everybody, and welcome to The Very Worst, a podcast that is only about all of the Pokemon movies. I'm Matt Ockamp.
I'm Pat Reber.
And today, actually, the podcast isn't as much about Pokemon movies as it is about
let our guest introduce themselves.
Oh, okay, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so here's the thing.
This episode, our podcast isn't so much about the Pokemon movies as it is about our podcast. It's sort of a podcast about our podcast, if anything.
So we ran into some technical issues. We had a very funny guest, Megan Chialastri, but there were some audio issues and it's unusable.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
the pretty much the entire episode got lost, except for we still have the voicemails segment.
We've got your voicemails.
And we have now this is probably going to be I don't know how to stop this from being everybody's favorite episode, because it's definitely going to be, right? We have rankings.
That's right.
We have the entirety of the ranking segment because Megan decided they would rather hang up than continue talking to us, and at that point the audio became
they, much like you, the listener, tuned out as soon as we started ranking episodes for 20 minutes.
We haven't released an episode in so long. We figured the better thing to do than keep you guys waiting for possibly another week or two as we try to reschedule with Megan is we would release the half of an episode that we have with literally it's insane how our audio picks up almost 2 minutes before we finish describing the movie. The entire intro's gone and the entire recap of the movie is totally gone. And then all of a sudden it's all right, well, we're going to play some voicemails. So yeah, so that's what this is. Pat, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, we're just here killing time. My wife tonight is my wife. Have you heard of this thing?
My wife?
My wife tonight is actually attending a live taping of a much better podcast about watching bad movies.
Shit, is it the one where they watch Indiana Jones but only a minute at a time?
No, what?
Yeah, that's a podcast.
That real?
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Is it the one where they watch Sex and the City 2 over and over and over and over again?
No, did they steal that idea from us?
No, I think we stole the idea from them.
Shit. It's a famous podcast. I didn't
okay.
guess, but now that you're trying to guess, it's a famous podcast with famous people.
Is
hosting.
it
not super
one
famous.
of those Kevin Smith ones?
No.
Is it the horror movie one that my child listens to?
No, but
that
sounds cool too.
The Flophouse.
Let's turn this into a podcast recommendation.
Is it The Flophouse?
I don't know what that is.
So it's How Did This Get Made?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was the whole time.
There's so many podcasts that do exactly this.
Anyway, I thought we could get some clout by mentioning the names of a bunch of podcasts that are out there. Maybe somebody will.
Yeah, so if you're any one of those podcasts, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, please give us a call. Leave us a voicemail. That phone number is 1-607-323-7168 if you are Jason Mantzoukas.
Or any of the other people from any of the other podcasts we mentioned.
Yeah.
Especially
Mr. Flophouse.
Guy from the horror movie podcast my son listens to. Girl from the horror movie podcast my son listens to. If you're either one of those people, just, give us a shout. We haven't mentioned the name of the movie that this is based. Pat, do you remember the movie that we watched, probably 2 weeks ago now, right before we recorded the podcast that got lost?
I remember it vaguely. I remember.
Right. What is the title of that movie?
Fuck. Man. So it's Pokemon the movie.
Yeah. All right.
the something of something or something.
Okay,
of the
why don't we
something?
start with what do you remember the Pokemon's name that's this movie stars?
Moody.
Okay, Moody and the
Moody and the sea of
yeah.
Infinity.
Moody in the Sea of Infinity. You know what? I'm gonna actually call this podcast. I was trying to think of like, what do we call this? Do we call this like a? So I'm gonna call this Moody and the Sea of Infinity, but I'm gonna call it Moody and the Sea of Infinity Part 2 because this is only the second half. This is the second half of a podcast that we recorded. All right, let's get the fuck out of here. The next thing you hear will be us wrapping up our discussion of the movie that you didn't hear us talk about. Followed by the voicemail segment, Megan hanging up on us, and then we will rank all our Pokemon movies thus far.
Does Megan get their plugs in?
I think they do.
Okay, awesome. Pay attention, because Megan is cool, and those are plugs.
All right, bye.
I wanna be the very worst.
This whole plot could have been accomplished by anything. It could have been accomplished by a wall of fire.
Yeah. Oh no, there's a fire tornado because we summoned too many legendary Pokemon.
Oh no, we fell down a hole and now the walls are caving in.
Why didn't they just use one of the ring things that we already established?
Well, they do, but not for a fucking while.
Well, here, wait, sorry. Can I get to my second thing that boggles my mind about this? Is one of their first decisions is we should transport these people away from here because there's a bunch of just civilians hanging out and they're about to be eaten by a space-time rift. Their solution is to transport them across town, which is, I feel like this is maybe under a nuclear threat, right? But still enough of a problem that you should get them out of town to save them rather than
like at least out of the county.
Yeah,
out of sight.
So they transport other people out, except for our main cast who hang back because Hoopa can't go through. Remember, Hoopa can't go through its hoop.
Oh, poor Hoopa.
You know what's funny is the little girl forces that hippo Pokemon through the portal. She just found this thing,
right?
And not in the city. They went like to the hills way beyond into the desert to grab this thing, and I guess it's just part of the cityscape now.
Then a bunch of bullshit happens and everyone's safe. Like, do you guys need to drill down on what happens here?
This part, I've been trying to justify what happens through a lot of this movie. This part, I can't. I can't wrap my head.
There's
around.
just a bunch. Honestly, we don't need to explain the plot here because it wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah, it could best be described as like, oh, I guess that worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no point in explaining any of it. It's such nonsense that I don't even know that I could explain it in words very well.
Explaining it wouldn't make more sense of it than just saying, they figured it out. They stopped it.
So they all are safe. All the legendaries fly away. Arceus shows up and is like, "Hey, I'm God. Bye." And Hoopa confuses the term Pokemon Master with Pokemon Mister, and then makes fun of Ash.
Which,
just
how
flies,
cute.
Yeah, oh, how sweet.
Just flies around. Pokemon Mister.
And Ash is like, no, that's not what it is. And it's like, fuck you.
So, like, also, does that mean the Pokemon, like, aren't aware of the concept?
Of what a Pokemon Master is?
Yeah,
that's
are they
a
just,
good point.
Are they just pawns in our sick game? If this movie convinced me of anything, it's that Pokemon battles are basically dogfighting.
Yeah. This movie's nonsense and garbage and it sucks. Or this movie's nonsense and garbage, and it's amazing if you're Pat.
Yeah, this movie is nonsense and garbage, and it rules.
Because then the movie just ends. It's just over. It's just suddenly over. We see the end credits, and the only notable thing in the end credits is the tower that got destroyed by the space-time. Hoopa's like, I'll help rebuild it. And then there's images of Hoopa just taking giant stone blocks and putting them places as if it's rebuilding the tower, but with actual construction people all around him. And it's like, I was just getting these flashes of these, like the construction crew going like, dude, that doesn't go there. God, that's going to take us hours to fix the damage that you're doing. Or even if Hoopa was doing it correctly, which how could it? Number two, if the construction people are like, hey, we're contracted for 25 weeks. If this Pokemon builds it in 2 days, we still get paid for the 25 weeks. I have to feed my family.
Love the idea of the foreman just being like, listen, just let it do whatever it's doing. It's way easier than telling it to go away.
We'll undo it later.
Wait.
Listen, you'll get paid. I promise.
It's like, did either of your towns like do that thing where it's like the community's gonna build a playground and they have like all the kids come and help? But like, there's no way that what we did they let happen. Like,
right, the
that
adults
wasn't
just undoing it all after the kids leave.
I loved it.
Pat, I
Okay.
don't agree with your take.
I don't understand your take at all.
That's
Okay,
right. So
yeah, so let's get into like our post-mortem. Like, okay, we had to watch this fucking garbage movie. What's your closing thoughts? Let's start with Pat because me and Megan's are just going to be arguing.
Yeah.
it's so okay. This movie is great. We have yet to do the rankings. This is going to land pretty high. I don't know. So most Pokemon movies are off the wall, batshit crazy. They don't make any sense, but it feels like the writers were like, oh, no, I'm sure this makes sense. People just have to be smart enough to understand it.
Like they were trying.
Whereas this one was just like, oh, let's just go fucking nuts. Let's just write just some dumb, shitty Pokemon movie. This is going to be wild. Why don't we throw Arceus in there? Oh, we should get Latios and Latias. We should get, I don't know, name another one. I don't remember any of their fucking
Giratina.
names. Is Giratina, the god of space and time? Why don't we throw that in there as well? And they just, like, they saw the patterns of all past Pokemon movies and were like, oh, let's just take this pattern to the extreme.
Yeah.
I do miss Ash wasn't really a chosen one here. He wasn't
a chosen one. He didn't try to punch a Pokemon.
He didn't try to punch
stomach.
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like there was just too much just Pokemon.
Right, there was a lot of just Pokemon on the screen.
That's fair. One of them could speak English, though. That's incredible. What a discovery.
Is it? We already have Meowth.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Megan, what are your thoughts?
It was a structurally bad movie.
Yeah.
It was difficult to follow. The art direction wasn't great. Like, after hearing Pat's defense, I feel like I could understand how someone could love this movie. Because, like, I don't know, I'm rewatching Lost, and I love the last season. And, like, it's fucking straight up bullshit.
Right.
So, like, I get it. Like, I get getting into the deep lore of the Pokemon movies. But at the same time, do I?
Right.
Is that what I've become?
This movie is, in a word, gobbledygook. This movie is just a concept salad where they just took everything that every possible idea for a Pokemon movie, they threw it all in like a stew, and they let all the fun boil off of it before they served it to you.
Right, like there was like no way to like relate to anything because it was just a bunch of magic Pokemon.
Yeah. It's like you know how if you cook something in alcohol, the alcohol burns and you just get like the essence of the thing.
A delicious sauce.
So if you make like if you go to make like a sauce with brandy in it, you'll get the taste of brandy but none of the alcohol of brandy. This would be like if you took a pot, filled it with only liquor, burned it, like boiled it until all the alcohol burned off, and we're like, oh, hey, drink this. It tastes like liquor, but it doesn't get you drunk. That's what this movie is like. There's no fun, there's no jokes, there's nothing goofy about it. It's just nonsense.
Right, like this movie peaks when there's like 50 Pikachus at one time.
Yeah. Well, I also liked Ash being evil for a second. I liked that part.
Let me ask you this, Megan.
Yes.
And I realize that this was a long time ago, but you mentioned having seen Pokemon 2000.
Yes.
Which, of all the movies that we've watched, I think is the worst.
It was
That goes
very
to the
bad.
Bottom of my list. How does
maybe
this...
it wasn't Pokemon 2000. Maybe it was just Pokemon the movie.
Ooh.
Pokemon the movie is also pretty bad, but not as bad as Pokemon 2000.
I saw it in a movie theater, if that helps.
How does this one compare?
I
Pat,
mean,
you're jumping forward to the ranking segment, and we're not there yet.
Oh, that's fair.
okay,
Yeah, I'm sorry.
okay. I'll wait. I'll think about it.
Yeah, you wait. Okay, so we have 2 more segments before we get out of this podcast.
Before you're free and
before
can
we
take your
free you
headphones off.
from your prison bottle that is this podcast.
Before I cry about something.
Megan, do you have anything you want to plug before we get into the end game here?
Yes. Just follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Megan is Sleepy.
Hell yeah.
You can go to meganchialastri.com. I'm sure my name's written in the description or something. Because I do
definitely.
stand-up comedy shows and that kind of stuff, and they're all listed there. So, yeah,
Hell yeah.
mostly follow me on Twitter. I want to be verified. That's like my only goal in life.
Wouldn't that be so nice?
To be a verified Twitter user, it would.
For a second, I went viral once, and I was like, ooh, maybe I'll get verified. And nope, didn't happen. No. And so going viral was pointless.
I went viral, but it was on fucking Facebook.
Yee. I think, Matt, once this podcast takes off,
they'll verify
me. They'll verify you.
Yeah. All right, so let's move into before we get to rankings, let's actually like have some fun, and let's talk. Let's take some voicemails. Megan, do you want to hang out with us for some voicemails?
Sure, I could do some voicemails.
So
people call you? What the fuck?
Yeah. So we get voicemails from our listeners. So if you want to call us, and remember, the rule is if we ever go 3 weeks without anybody calling us, we are going to disband the call line.
We should clarify 3 episodes,
3
which
episodes.
are supposed to be weekly.
This is we did 1 episode in June, and this is anyway. Okay, so our phone number is 607-323-7168. That is 607-323-7168. And let's listen to some voicemails.
Can we? I do want to preface this with Ashley, our former co-host of this podcast, is still for some reason in control of of our voicemail system. She may have texted you if you called and tried to leave a voicemail. She may have picked up the phone and yelled at you, and if that happened, I'm sorry. I'm sure she's still doing that.
But anyway, she forwards us these voicemails, and so let's play some.
Yeah, if you left this like 3 months ago and we're just getting to it now, blame Ashley.
All right, so
what's up, guys? Chef Stormer. Listen, I got 3 things real quick. 1, Alvaro. Here's why the Pokeball theory doesn't work. Pikachu doesn't go in a Pokeball. He refuses. He is very proud and very stubborn. 2, Pat, please list your favorite Purge movies in order. And know that I have seen all of the Purge movies, and I know which ones are correct. 3, JeffStormer.com, PartyOfOnePodcast.com, AllMyFantasyChildren.com, getting all the plugs in. Love you guys. I'll talk to you later.
Okay, all right.
All right. I don't mind that he plugged his stuff. I do mind that he made it a numbered point of his.
Okay.
He
well,
was
all right.
so mad.
Okay, the first thing, Alvaro, a prior guest on the podcast, stated that he thought that maybe some of these movies were hallucinations that happen when Pokemon get stuck in Pokeballs. You know what, Alvaro? Take that.
Yeah, Alvaro, I'll tell you what, we're not going to argue for you since this is between you and Jeff. Please feel free to call and leave a voicemail refuting Jeff's point. This will be a fun bit for everyone.
Be just as aggressive as Jeff.
Yeah.
Pat, list your favorite Purge movies in order.
Oh, God. So here's...
Megan, have you seen the Purge movies?
No, but I love to talk about the Purge if it was going to happen in real life.
Yeah, let's me and you do that after Pat stops talking because I've never seen the Purge movies.
Oh, great. I have a Purge plan. It's great.
Oh, hell yeah. I need to hear this.
So here's the thing about my experience with the Purge movies. I have only watched parts of them because they were on TV or because I was bored and was like, oh, I'll try a Purge movie and then fell asleep. I don't know what order they're supposed to go in. I don't know the names of the ones that I've seen so far. I know there's one with Ethan Hawke. I think it's the first one. And I'm pretty sure I saw that one all the way through and was like, oh, yeah, that's fine.
I generally think of Purge as, and I'm not a person who flies on planes a lot, and I know you're not either, but I generally think of Purge movies as the movies you watch on a plane.
Yeah, like it's there.
It's there. It'll keep you distracted so you don't think about plummeting to your death from 5,000 feet.
Let me ask you this, Jeff.
Hey, he's not here. Pat,
I did see one where it wasn't The Purge : subtitle. It was about a family that moves into a new neighborhood, and then that neighborhood has a purge, or there's a purge that happens right after they move into, like, they move from like a poor area to an upper class area.
Boring.
So what I don't know is if that's actually part of the Purge universe, or if that's just a movie that exists in a different universe where there also happens to be a
Megan,
Purge.
what would you do during a Purge?
1, go to Best Buy. I need a new laptop. Oh, so this is also going off my theory that I honestly don't think there would be as much murder during the Purge as the Purge movies make it seem like.
No, definitely not. Definitely 100%.
I think there would be a shit ton of looting.
Right.
But I think there would be about an average amount of murder. I think if you're going to murder somebody, you're just going to do it.
I think there would be like this small contingent of people. The same contingent of people would be the ones that would murder, or the ones that would rob a house, or the ones that would assault, like assault a person in any of the horrible ways you can assault a person, right? Like, I think that would all be the same contingent of people, and it'd all be the sociopaths who are like, ooh, cool, no rules, I can do all the weird, crazy, immoral shit I think about all the time.
Right.
And that's very few people.
But I think normal people are going to go to Best Buy and they're going to build a roof deck because their house isn't zoned to have a roof deck, but it is during the Purge.
Oh my god, you can break zoning laws!
You can break any sort of law you want. Build yourself that roof deck.
I would go to work with purple hair.
I think you would see an uptick in murders between people that know each other. I think that, like, if it's, let's say you have a next door neighbor and
This is fucking Pat admitting he murdered me.
they have a tree and the branches on that tree keep falling into your yard. Once you get close to the Purge, I would stop throwing the branches back over into their yard
and
for
start
them to
throwing
take care
them
of.
through the heart of your neighbor.
No, because then that neighbor, very specifically my parents' neighbor that I grew up next to,
Yeah.
if there was a Purge day, he would probably find a reason to murder them.
Okay, let's listen to the next voicemail.
Hi, the Very Worst Podcast. This is Betsy. I've emailed before. So as you can hear, probably, I sound terrible. So I'm a teacher, and in North Carolina, this is the last day for most schools here. It also happens to be my birthday. I'll be 29. I'm 29 for the first time, and I am sick as a dog. I woke up this morning feeling so much worse than yesterday, and all I wanted to do was crawl into bed and cry. And I thought, oh, I still have some of the latest episode to listen to from the Very Worst podcast, and I immediately felt a little bit better just from having something funny to listen to. So thank you guys so much for perking up my really terrible birthday day. This isn't really a question so much as a comment. When you guys were talking about the déjeuner in the last Pikachu short episode, I kept wanting someone to call it Dead Inside. I thought that would have been so funny. That's what I kept thinking over and over in my head. Thank you guys. I'll try and send an email to just in case this isn't going through. Bye.
Oh,
Betsy!
Betsy, happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
I was gonna dunk on that person for how fucking long that voicemail was because, like, we're not your grandmother. Calm down. But, like, then it ended up being so sweet.
What a sweet, sweet voicemail. I hope you feel better. Happy birthday. I'm sorry your birthday was bad. I'm glad we could provide some laughs during it. Dead Inside as the name of the Pokemon. Dedenne. Who is the little, Megan, that's the little orange Pikachu looking thing that was running around during this movie?
Yo, I thought that was Raichu the whole time.
It's a Pikachu-like Pokemon called Dedenne, which we will now, henceforth, forever refer to as Dead Inside.
Dead Inside.
Great.
That was a very nice...
That was very sweet. We go through these, and you don't expect them to be sincere or nice as much as, like our last one was, yelling and challenging us.
Yes.
So thank you very much.
Yeah. I feel like my defenses are up from Jeff's voicemail, and I don't know how to properly react to this one. But thanks for listening, and you're really rad, and I'm glad school's out. Just kick it for this summer.
Yeah.
Just kick it. Just kick it, girl. Get it.
Yeah,
Just like, don't
you
do
earned it.
shit.
All right, let's listen to another one.
Hi, this is Poor Webster. I listen to the Very Worst podcast. I realize I haven't left you guys a voicemail. I've been meaning to do that. Last time you guys heard from me, I left a text message on the last episode. You guys had Ashley with you. I'm re-listening to your entire podcast. It's hilarious. And I remember you guys, for one, said, oh, no, I hope he doesn't get in trouble at work for listening to our podcast. And I can assure you that doesn't happen. I listen to headphones all day working on a computer. But I wanted to say I hope you guys keep it running. The podcast really cheers me up through a rough work day, especially in some more sadder times that are going on, too. So it's really big joy to always listen to your hilarious jokes and very bad pronunciations of some Pokemon names. Anyways, I look forward to hearing the next episode you guys put up on Spotify. If you guys ever also want, like, maybe someone to join in on your podcast on a day, I mean, it'd be super fun if you guys, like, wanted me to, because I got, like, streaming equipment and stuff, but again, that's just me being Fanny or something, I don't know. Anyways, you guys rock, keep up the awesome work.
Did you say Poor Webster was his name?
That's what I heard, but I was like, that has to be wrong.
What a sweet, sweet man you are, Poor Webster.
Another one. That's okay. I do. First of all, I want to apologize because I think I got mad when I found out that someone texted us instead of calling us.
And it was Poor Webster.
Yes,
yeah.
You yelled at Poor Webster.
How dare
He went through
you?
a rough time and he had a bad day at work.
But here's the thing about that text message. As viscerally angry as I was, I had no idea we were available on Spotify. I found out because we got a text message saying I listened to you through Spotify. I don't know if Matt knew. I think he accidentally signed up for it one day and then forgot about it. So I appreciate that, because that's actually, if I want to re-listen to one of our episodes, that's usually how I listen.
Poor Webster, thank you so much for calling. What was that Pokemon yelling in the background? Did you guys hear that Pokemon in the background?
So I think that might have been my cat.
That was, I was going to say.
That was my cat. That was Poppy.
Megan.
She was napping
Megan.
the whole time.
What was your cat doing at poor Webster's house?
You've had a Pokemon this whole time and you never told us? What's your cat's name?
Poppy.
Pappy.
Poppy, like the flower.
Oh,
Yeah,
Poppy.
nice.
Oh,
Way
very
better
nice.
than Pappy.
Yeah, I was about to give you so much shit for calling your cat Pappy, but Poppy, no, I love it.
Poppy, she's amazing.
Okay, let's listen to our last voicemail.
Yeah, we got
All
one more.
Ready?
Hey guys, this is Josh Yarnell. Thanks for letting me on the show for that god-awful Where's My Key or whatever it was called. So I learned a thing about Wobbuffet a while ago that I thought was worth sharing. There's a lot of stuff in Pokemon that directly references little facets of Japanese culture that don't translate really well into English. And the writers just kind of have to make do with what they've got on the screen and come up with something new that sounds like a good American joke. Probably like that, what was it, that Chansey joke that was really awful a couple episodes ago. That was probably some other thing that was hilarious in Japanese that didn't make any damn sense in English. Wobbuffet is, in particular, he is based on this old Japanese stand-up comedian. I don't remember his name. But what he would do these monologues, and he would get to the end of a monologue, and as a sort of punchline, he would put his hand up to his forehead, and he had this little catchphrase that he would deliver. It was a sort of last word punchline he would always get. And that's why they always have Wobbuffet always pop up after the joke that Team Rocket makes, because in the original, in Japanese, he's getting in this little last word punchline that's a cultural joke. Now, if you're Japanese and you know who that old comedian is, this is hilarious. Imagine if instead, I'm trying to think of a good American analog. Imagine if there was like a big fat Pokemon with bug eyes and a necktie, and he would pop up after a joke, and he would go, "Oh, I don't get no respect." This is pretty much like the same thing, but the Japanese version. So anyway, guys, I'm still digging the show. Keep it rolling. I'll see you on again soon if I get a chance, or if Matt gets deported or something like that. So I'll talk to you guys later. Coughing.
Josh, what the fuck are you talking about?
He was talking about Japanese stand-up comedy, I think, and Team Rocket.
No, that's very it answers a lot of questions.
Like, that's
for
incredibly interesting, but
what
the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, Josh, stop wasting our time, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Also, I want to point out that the end of that voicemail, where he just goes, coughing.
That was a separate voicemail.
We realized we got two voicemails from the same person, one of which was a long explanation about a Japanese stand-up comedian, and the other was just him making a Pokemon noise. Which you are welcome to use our voicemail line for if you just want to call.
Please feel free to call our voicemail line, make a Pokemon noise, and hang up. I would absolutely love that.
And if Ashley answers the phone, absolutely do that.
Yeah, just do it nonstop until she hangs up on you. And then email us about that experience.
And text them.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Listen, thank you guys so much for the email or the voicemails. 607-323-7168. If you want to argue with any of those people, or you want to say something improbably sweet, right? Like, it's improbable that anybody is listening to this podcast and having kind thoughts like that about it. Or if you want to argue with...
Yeah, that was so nice.
Yeah. Or if you want to argue with our guests, like Jeff, or if you want to school us on Pokemon lore, like Josh, or if you just want to yell a Pokemon noise at us, please. Okay, now here comes the best segment of our show. It's called Let's Rank the Pokemon Movies, and we'll start with Megan's, in case they get bored and want to hang up on us, which is completely understandable. Megan.
Yes.
What is your, out of every Pokemon movie you've ever seen, which seems to be one and maybe possibly two.
It was definitely two, I just don't know which one it was.
What is your ranking of Pokemon? Rank every Pokemon movie you've ever seen.
So I'm going to go with number one, be either the Pokemon movie or Pokemon 2000, because I got to see it in a movie theater, and as a kid, I liked going to movie theaters a lot, so I'm sure it was a great experience.
Ooh.
This one is number two. End of list.
Yeah, let's just, Blue Sky, imagine there was, 20 other Pokemon movies that you had seen in there. Where do you think, just, wild guess, where do you think this one would end up?
I think this
before you do this, I will let you know you have no idea.
So I'm going to, if there were 20 total movies, which I'm assuming there are in real life.
More than that, but yeah.
I'm going to put this at 17.
Okay. I think that's a really fair ranking. Megan.
Yeah, I feel like there's probably 3 worse movies.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not offended by that.
Okay. Pat.
Fuck.
Do your rankings. Let's try to blaze through this.
Pat,
No, that's not going to happen.
Megan, if you need to hang up at any point, just, give your sign off and...
Yeah, if you get super bored, just send us a message that says, hey, thanks for having me. I had to go. Okay, number one, of course, is Celebi's Nasty Nest. Number two...
Oh my god, I didn't realize you were ranking all of them,
Yeah,
not just giving this one a number.
Everyone
No,
that we've
really
seen.
bad.
This is why we kept trying to warn you.
Oh
It's
yeah, I'm
really
signing
bad.
off now.
Megan, thank you so much for being on the very worst.
Thank you, this has been fun, and I hope I forget this movie.
All right, talk to you later.
All right, bye.
See ya.
Bye. Okay, Pat, you scared them off.
Yeah. Megan did what I imagine most of our listeners do when we get to this point in the show.
No, it's actually, I don't know if we've offered that, but no one's taken us up on it, even if...
Yeah, I would
Either
say
way.
if you are considering reaching out to us, please reach out to us about whatever you want to reach out to us about. But also let us know if you listen to this ranking segment or not. I am legitimately curious.
Yeah, we're not going to stop either way. Because it's we have to. It's our sworn blood oath bond.
Yeah.
But you have to let it, we need to know. Okay, Pat, rankings.
Number one is Celebi's Nasty Nest.
Okay.
Number two, there's one that I always put at number two, and I couldn't remember. I'll say this. I was excited to rank this movie because I'm pretty sure I know where it falls in my rankings.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, fuck. What other Pokemon movies have I watched? I don't remember.
Yeah.
But I remember number one is Celebi. That movie's just good.
That movie's actually a good movie.
Number two, is it Jirachi that I like? I can't remember
You
which
like Jirachi.
one is the number two. But
I don't
there's a
know if it was
consistent
number two, but
here.
you liked it. I think you here's the ones you liked, as far as I remember.
Yeah.
You like Celebi's Nasty Nest.
Yes, I love that one.
You like Pokemon 3 Spell the Unknown. We all liked that.
Oh, that's it. That's my number two. Sorry.
Okay.
And then I am throwing this one at number three. I think it was
Whoa!
fucking
That is a fucking
just
huge...
a wild ride. They've
You throwing this above Jirachi.
Yes, I think they took a lot of risks. I enjoyed watching it play out. I enjoyed how just unfiltered and extreme they were. It's like the Joe Rogan Experience.
Okay.
But good. Number four, we'll say Jirachi. Number 5, we'll say Pokemon Ranger.
Okay.
Number 6, we'll say Pokemon the first movie.
Okay.
And now I'm out of titles. I know that Pokemon the movie 2000 goes all the way at the bottom. I think Latios and Latias go just above that.
Yes.
Above that is the black and white movie. I watched the white one, Victini and Zekrom. Oh boy. I think Arceus goes just above that one. We're going bottom up now at this point. After that is what happened in Diancie and the Cocoon of Destruction.
Oh, it was like a
that
weird girl baby rock lady who
is that the little hedgehog?
No, she had to replace the heart of love or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so that one's right in the middle for me, I think.
Yeah.
But Genesect is still towards the bottom, so we'll put Genesect just above black and white. I'm going to switch back to my top-down list.
So archivists, take note.
Lucario, that one's still pretty good. That's in my top half. And then Zoroark, Master of Illusions.
Yeah.
Followed by Kyurem and the Sword of Justice, Arceus and the Jewel of Life. Put Rise of Darkrai above Arceus and the Jewel of Life and Zoroark. I like that one better than those. And then put Lucario up there too, because that one's
fucking god.
That one's good. And then Destiny Deoxys, and then I forgot about Giratina and the Sky Warrior. And I would have put that one.
That one's low, right?
I would say like 4 from the bottom. I think I've listed 3 other movies that I hate worse than that. And I think that's all of them. I think I got
All right.
Oh, Pokemon Forever. Also bad.
No, Pokemon Forever is Celebi's Nasty Nest.
Oh, yeah. No, good. Great.
Okay. All right. Let me get into this shit. Okay. Number 1, Celebi's Nasty Nest. Number 2, Jirachi Witchmaker. Number 3, Spell the Unknown, Pokemon 3 the movie. Okay? All right. Those are the top 3. Number 4, I'm going to go ahead and say is The Rise of Darkrai because of the hot dog robot. Number 5, let's say Lucario and the Mystery of Mew. Number 6, Destiny Deoxys. Was the Rise of Darkrai the hot dog robot, or was Destiny Deoxys the hot dog robot?
I think Destiny Deoxys was the hot dog robot.
Okay, switch Rise of Darkrai with Destiny Deoxys. So we're at 7. I would say Black, Victini, and Reshiram. Number 8, Genesect and the Legend Awaken. Number 9, I know this used to be lower, but I would say, okay, Pokemon Ranger in the Temple of the Sea was contentless. And it was about the same level of quality as this one, which is too much content to the point where it's nonsense.
But it had that crazy pirate in it.
So, Pokemon Ranger in the Temple of the Sea is 9. Hoopa and the Clash of Ages is 10. Number 11 is Genesect. Number 12 is Kyurem. Number 13 is Zoroark. Number 14 is Giratina. Number 15 is Arceus. Number 16 is Pokemon the first movie. Number 17 is Mewtwo Returns. Number 18 is Diancie and the Cocoon of Destruction. Number 19 is Mastermind of the Mirage Pokemon. Number 20. God, this sucks. Number 20 is Pokemon Heroes Latios and Latias, and number 21 is Pokemon the Movie 2000. Is that all of them? 1.
That's gotta be.
2. I'm counting them right now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I think this is my favorite part
6,
of the podcast
7,
is when we just count.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, there's 20 and I somehow got 21. I must have listed one twice. Listen, guys, thank you so much for listening to the podcast. And thank you so much to Megan Chialastri for being part of the show. They are an incredibly hilarious person. If you happen to be in Philadelphia, try to catch their stand-up.
And on Twitter. They are legitimately very funny on Twitter.
Oh, right. Yeah. Any chance you get.
Megan is sleepy.
Now, usually at this point in the lore of the show, we have the guests pick the outro. And now we don't have that because Megan very wisely dipped out before they had to listen to us just list Pokemon movies for fucking 15 minutes.
I'll handle it. Listen, we do the same ending for every episode. I'll do it right now. Please follow us on Twitter at The Very Worst Pod or send us an email, theveryworstpodcast@gmail.com.
But at this point, we prefer you to send us, just call us at 607-323-7168.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it. You could do something else. You could do literally anything else, Pat.
Oh, I thought that was it. Do you want me to do our Twitter handle again?
Oh. Okay, well, then I guess we're done. If you just want to be done, all right.
Yeah, I mean, there's...
All right, I'll just click stop on the recording, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know why you're just staring at me and not...
No,
Bye!